Greetings, salutations, respect, and love. I am Scott. Welcome to your Sunday live stream. And yes, boys and girls, your eyes do not deceive you. We've got the one, the only Pete Pardo joining us as we talk about the 10 best Black Sabbath songs. Pete, welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Scott. Good to see you guys.
Ooh, classing up the joint, making us look good. I appreciate it. And wow, it's been so long since we've had our usual cast of characters. My two co-pilots, Wayne from Pocket Full of Eep, the #1 YouTuber in all of Alberta, Canada. Wayne, how are you?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad.
It's been a long time.
It's been a while. Like last week was my first time being back on in like a couple months.
Oh, you see, I forgot already you were on last week. Yeah. Okay, never mind. Cody, how are you, sir? We've seen you a couple times since we've been busy on the Sunday stream. We've had actually a whole bunch of really good ones, a lot of artists, the Roy Stoltz of the world and whatnot, coming on our little show. It's been a lot of fun, but I've squeezed out some great guests like Cody. How you doing?
Doing good. Just hanging out in my home in Ontario, Canada.
How's your better half? How's the better half doing?
She's sleeping right now, but she's doing very good.
In case people don't know,
pulling a Chris Allo and sleeping.
There you go.
Yeah,
Cody is one half of the Prague couple who you can hear their radio show right on Prague Radio. You guys have a show, right? Just help yourself. Just hydrate whenever you want. We're not live or anything, Cody.
Every Thursday at 12 noon Eastern on PragueRadio.com. Tara and I do a show where you hear everything from, well, honestly, you'll hear everything from Black Sabbath to Vandergraaf Generator to Camel to maybe even a hint of Metallica to Jethro Tull to anything that basically has super effective prog elements. We play it there, and it's a great time. We have an awesome time. It's so fun.
No, you're awesome. Tara's awesome. Thank you for joining us today. And the youngest member of the panel. We cannot reveal his age for legal purposes, but I guarantee you, boys and girls, he's been stress tested. He's been peer reviewed. This kid is just amazing. He knows more about music than I do. That's why he's on the panel. Kieffer, how are you today? How's your Sunday going?
Sunday's going good. I put my list together in literally within the last hour.
Okay, well, I'm expecting nothing but controversy from you today.
Oh, yeah.
As usual, as you should.
And Pete, we're going to, as per usual, we're going to shout out some of the luminaries, some of the dignitaries, some of the VIPs that are sitting around in the peanut gallery. A great and mighty welcome to Jeff Shilko, one of the big fans and followers of this channel. Ian, thank you so much. Oh, Rhyme Signatures, if you guys don't know his channel, Ian's got an amazing channel. He just reviewed the brand new Hadal Sherpa, Pete. Have you heard that yet?
No.
Oh, there's a new Hadal Sherpa. It's amazing. And I don't know where this guy came from, right? But all of a sudden, there's this cat in Ohio who's like got a YouTube channel, and it's 10 times better than me. So, yeah, we'll get this guy on the show sooner or later, as soon as my ego gets over it, right? Because, I used to be the #1 prog rock channel on all of YouTube, and now I'm like the #3 guy in Ohio. It hurts the ego a little bit. It's not any fun at all. I am slipping, man. That's why Clickbait Week was such a huge success. We had a lot of fun. But proving once again that numbers aren't everything. And finally, before we get on to the show, the mighty Zeb. Oh, where would the world of YouTube, prog rock YouTube, be without Zeb? Thank you for being on the show. Now back to the topic at hand. It's Black Sabbath, man. Oh, yes, indeed. Let's get into some lists. But first, I kind of want to go around the horn, kill some time, but also talk about what you guys been listening to this week. Anything interesting besides Black Sabbath? Because I've been cramming Black Sabbath like nothing but for the past week in preparation for this. But what have you guys been listening to? Pete, any outstanding CDs you're ready to review or anything you've been listening to that you've been enjoying?
Yes, thank you for asking. First of all, from Scott's favorite part of the world, Norway, a band called Kal-El. It is called Astral Voyager Volume 1. So speaking of Sabbath, if you like Sabbath, if you like kind of like late 60s, early 70s, heavy psych, with a little bit of prog thrown in, big heavy riffs, very cool stoner vibes. Awesome stuff there.
That looks cool too. That cover looks awesome.
It's really good. Yeah, I mean, Norway's where it's at these days. Playing the Fool by Gentle Giant. Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
Yeah.
From Italy, Mesa. In Steps, right? Is that what, the Spin. Sorry, In Steps. What am I talking about? Very, very cool, atmospheric, kind of doomy, heavy rock from Italy.
I would not expect that to be a Doom album, a Doomy album.
It's very good. Female vocals, awesome. Brand new Pagan Altar UK Doom band. They were around during the new wave of British heavy metal. Never quite dead.
I remember them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, very cool. Brand new Epica is awesome.
Yeah, it is.
What else? Brand new Magic Pie, new Eden Song, new IQ. I've been listening to Hellstar a lot. Very cool US kind of like traditional metal from the 80s. They're still around today. So yeah, tons of shit. Way too much to even waste time on. But yeah.
Okay, well, you mentioned Eden Song, and that kind of segues into Ken Golden, which then dovetails into us wanting just to pay some respects to Jim Williamson. Ken's right-hand man at Laser CD for a long, long time. And I can't even imagine Ken running the place without Jim. So I just want to give a shout out to all his friends and family and all the people that, you know, how many records I've got that his dirty paws probably had touched.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, pretty much like half the records I've got back there, Jim probably stuck in a box and sent my way. So I
don't think I've ever met Jim in person.
No,
but as you guys know, I do a Friday show with Ken every single week, and Jim is like always there. So like I always talk to Jim. He's off camera. He's there. It's like, so yeah, it's everything happened very, very quickly too, which maybe is for the best. But yeah, we will miss him, and I know Ken especially will. So.
Not cool. Morris, great channel. We love you, Morris. You and your weird and wacky world, or whatever your tagline is. We all got taglines. And in case you guys, you know, if you hadn't figured it out already, I stole mine from Pete, right? How does Pete open every single one of his videos? What word does it say? What's the first word I say? Hello, I am just nothing but a Pete Pardo wannabe clone ripoff. I admit it 100%. There's no shame in my game. Oh yeah, we all are in one shape.
Scott, I'm gonna go get something from the.
Okay, you do it. In the meantime, Cody, what have you been listening to this week?
Oh, well, Pete already mentioned the Gentle Giant album, and of course we just got that, so we've been listening to that in Dolby Atmos surround sound. It's been awesome. A couple of records I haven't been able to stop listening to is a couple of old classics like Jethro Tull's Aqualung has been fully in rotation, and I just can't seem to stop it. King Crimson, Camel. In fact, Pete, I just watched the In the Prog Seed episode of Mirage that you guys did on that album, because that's a fantastic album. It really is. And so I've been playing that a lot. Watched your ranking of all the Camel albums. I've been in a bit of a Camel headspace. Vandergraaf Generator, Marillion, in particular, Misplaced Childhood. Just been listening to that a lot for some reason. Yeah, I mean, what else? Alan Parsons, pretty much everything you see up here. And, of course, Black Sabbath getting ready to rock today. So pretty cool.
Pete, does it not warm your heart to see, like, young cats like Cody listening to all that old stuff? And, you know, me, I'm listening to nothing but new stuff left and right, man. I ain't got time for the classics. How about
right? Isn't it? It's really hard. I was just talking to someone this week. It's just like I have so much stuff I have to listen to review. And I have all this stuff that I bought, like older stuff, and I'm like, I have no time for any of it.
No time.
Like it's
you know, it's I do listen to a lot of new stuff too, in fairness, but lately Tara and I have just been kind of going for some of the classics, and I've been kind of discovering more of the Vandergraafs and things like that.
I love it, man. I love it. There's always time. There's always time to go back and listen to newer stuff. You got to get the foundation right. You know, it's just like learning how to play basketball or something. You got to get the foundations right first, and then you can learn how to do all the crazy stuff later. Wayne, what have you been listening to? What's going on in your world?
Well, what I've been listening to, shout out to a friend of the channel, Tom Curlis. His band Crossword Smiles put out a new album, and been listening to that. Really good. Vocally reminds me of Weird Al in a strange way. But liking that. Been listening to Seven Churches by Possessed, Gutter Ballet by Sabotage.
Nice.
really, really hit into that album and still
you're a big Sabotage guy, though, aren't you?
Yeah,
you make no bones about it. You love that band, so
yeah.
Just a quick side comment. I referred to what's the Christmas Sabotage, the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Yeah.
I refer to them as Santa-Tage. No apparent reason.
Oh man. Oh, I took the wife to go see Trans-Siberian a couple years ago.
Down at the Nutter Center.
Yeah, at the Nutter Center.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what,
I've never seen them.
Oh man, I was excited, right? Because I love Sabotage. And let's face it, some of the TSO stuff sounds kind of like prog rock. So I'm like, this could be a whole bunch of fun. It was so lame. It was so boring. Me and my wife were both like, this is like, can we leave early? Is that wrong? Is it no, let's just get out of here. It was terrible. I hated it.
How can the show with Russell Allen on vocals be boring?
It was lame. It was boring. Too much talking. I don't care about your story. I just want to hear the music. We all know the story. It's terrible. It's awful. We came for the music, right? I want to hear music. I don't want to hear talking. If I want to hear talking, I'll go see a play. It was just awful. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Oh, wait a second. Christopher's going to be beguiling us with his 10 favorite Sabbath songs while we talk about our 10 favorite Sabbath songs. And I'm going to start with Kieffer.
Oh, you're going to start with me. Well,
I am because you got tricks. You got tricks.
I'm going to start off with just my new listening lately. I went for a vinyl haul yesterday at Omega Records in Dayton, Ohio. New pickup. This is really, really, really good. It's not a very good album cover.
No, it's terrible.
I had relatives on my Facebook going, "What the hell is this? This does not look good. What are you listening to?" Also found a couple quick. I don't have the CDs in here, but I did have picked up some 0 Hour, which I was shocked to find at a local record store. Scott, you have the slideshow?
I do. You ready for it?
No, I have the wrong slideshow.
Oh, okay.
I really? Nothing. Am I really that stupid?
Yeah, you did it.
I got last week's slideshow instead of this slideshow.
That's not helpful. No. Do we need to come back to you, Kieffer?
Yeah, go to somebody else.
Yeah, we're gonna come back to you because you obviously, I should have noticed that because we've been like here for a minute and I can see it in like the green room. For those of you not familiar with StreamYard, as the host, I get to see like all this other stuff. And Kieffer he's got a slideshow ready to go. And it says Kieffer's best instrumental prog songs. That's not it. Oh, here we go. How about this? No, that's not it.
Oh yeah.
Bad album covers with Kieffer.
Okay, beguile it. Make it snappy.
Yeah, I'll make it quick, but
make it fun. Okay, we got Pete Pardo on the show. We need to remember who the star is.
Black Sabbath are probably the greatest band of all time, and they have some terrible, terrible album covers. Let's see. This one's pretty good.
Good. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. That's
what's this?
It's terrible.
I guess it's supposed to be the War Pigs.
Yep.
It looks like a bunch of dudes like practicing fencing or something in front of a tree in the middle of the woods.
That's terrible.
How this record managed to sell so well with that cover is beyond me.
Because people were still doing a lot of acid at the time in that
rotation. Okay. This is lazy, all right?
That's the worst album cover of all time. Come on. Your T-shirt notwithstanding, Cody. That cover's awful. Now, that's kind of cool. I kind of like that.
I'm going to be Chris Allo here and say I always hate it when the band's on the cover. Oof.
I like that. It's so 1973, right, Pete?
Yep. That cover has been replicated so many times.
It's so of its time, bro. That just brings me back to a certain time in my life. Going through my dad's Playboys that he thought were stashed away. We found them.
That's like a shot. I saw a shot on that. And there's a new good documentary on YouTube about Volume 4. And they were talking about how, I can't remember how that shot came from. This one's pretty good. I'll skip
That's a great
over it.
cover.
My favorite.
Get some normal pants, Bill. I mean, yeah. I guess the story.
Yeah, what are those?
Most of you probably know the story for our chat for Peanut Gallery. I guess Bill Ward was so drunk at the photo shoot he forgot to wear pants. I mean, maybe they must have been in warm weather territory because here in Ohio, it's always pants weather. So
Hey, wait a second. Kieffer, before we go on to technical ecstasy, I gotta mention Molly Whipple, the very first person who ever commented on one of my videos. Think about that.
Nice.
Almost 4 years ago, the very first person who ever commented on my very first video, still around. That that's audience retention right there, right, Pete? We keep them. We keep them.
Yeah.
Okay, what about technical ecstasy? Do we like this one?
I swear I don't like this one. I swear this is where George Lucas got R2-D2 from. Because this came out in 76 and Star Wars was out in 77. I swear.
That's true.
The
timeline matches up.
Yeah, for being a not very good album, Never Say Die actually has a pretty good cover.
To me, it's just typical Hypnosis, right? Yeah. If you were to say, what's a Hypnosis album cover look like? Show them this one. that's Hypnosis, right?
I struggle. I mean, I guess maybe it's because it doesn't have the 666 on it, like Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. Why would you mark it with your worst album? I don't get it.
I think the story is that was supposed to be that album cover was given to Rainbow and they turned it down.
I mean, that's a yeah. I don't like that.
I believe that was supposed to be the Down to Earth album cover.
I like this one's all right. I'll skip it. I'm not a fan of the Mob Rules cover. It's like the graffiti and here's a bunch of heathens in the background or hobos or something. Just shove them in the background. Now, this one I like. Scott, you said off air you like this one. I like this one.
I like how colorful it is. It really, I was working in a record store all the way through the 80s, and I gotta say, when I opened it up, and because this is before you may have gotten a one sheet ahead of time, but a lot of times you didn't know what time it was until you cracked open the box and there was your new shipment from Warner's, and it's like, oh, that's cool looking. Yeah, it really stood out on the shelves and caused a lot of I was down south in Florida at the time, and a lot of the people, small town Florida, were a little offended by that album cover, which made me like it even more.
This is my baby impersonation. Pete, would you mind telling us your story about this?
About Born Again?
About you getting the T-shirt.
Oh, yeah. So I saw the Born Again tour at the Meadowlands Brendan Byrne Arena in New Jersey, in East Rutherford, New Jersey. And I don't know how much of the story you want me to tell because there's a lot happened that evening. But anyway.
About when you went home and
okay. The next day. Well, besides the fact, one of my friends, we all got really drunk. One of my friends was ridiculously drunk, and I had to bring him to one of the bathrooms and put him in a stall. And then I went back to the seat and hung out for half the show and forgot that I left him in the bathroom. And then I couldn't remember which bathroom I left him in. So I literally went and searched in like 5 different bathrooms until I saw his feet under the stall in one of them. I was like, so anyway. But no, I did buy a Born Again shirt at the show. And then the next morning I got ready to go to school because this was in like what year was this? 83, I guess, 82, whatever year it was. I was still in high school, and I put it on, went downstairs to have breakfast to get ready for the bus. And my mother's like, "What the hell are you wearing?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's the shirt I got last night at the show." She goes, "You're not wearing that to school, are you?" And I said, "Absolutely, I'm wearing this to school today." And yeah, it didn't really go over too well in school, and I was the only one wearing it because we all bought them. But I had that shirt. When I went away to college, that shirt for some reason disappeared. I didn't bring all my shirts with me when I went to school, and I came back home for one of the holiday breaks, and it was nowhere to be found.
Mysteriously gone.
Mysteriously gone. But however, Mom probably doesn't know that I went and bought another one, and I still have it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Are we going to go all the way through to 13, Kieffer?
I'll skip through a couple of the bad ones. This one's really bad.
That's so bad.
That's so bad.
I don't care if it's a Tony solo album or not. It's just a bad cover.
Welcome to the desert. No, I don't like this one. This is kind of like false advertising because there is
Like
a head
that.
cross. This one sucks. I mean, you have like it's the clouds. Did they have Photoshop in 1990? Because I mean this looks like a bad Photoshop job. This one's all right. All right. This is horrible. I mean, it's dude with his little coat and he's out in the middle. It certainly matches the music. Certainly matches the music. And yeah, let's stop there. Go to normal.
Yeah, go to normal. All right. That was entertaining though.
Yeah, I mean, oof, yeah. Their album covers suck.
Yeah, that's
I
not
don't
great
think there's
stuff.
a single band with this good of a catalog that has that bad of album covers.
Yeah, we were talking about that, and you were right. I hadn't really even realized it until I started doing my background. And I normally will put I got some Sabbath records. They just look terrible. I'm not monkeying with my background and putting that garbage behind me. It's just bad artwork overall.
You forgot an actual good album cover and possibly the best one.
The
in Black
Humanizer.
Sabbath's catalog.
I
There
like
you go.
that one.
Sorry.
And it's an underrated album to the 10th degree. Just a fantastic record. So it's going to be in my list today.
I wonder. Yeah, I was just going to ask if any songs from that.
It will be in my list as well. But
Okay.
The only Sabbath I've picked either has Ozzy and Dio. There's great other stuff. Born Again's decent. All the later stuff in the 80s. But for my top favorites, it's Ozzy and Dio.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Well, Kieffer, you did a little rundown of the album covers, so we'll get back to you on your top 10.
I also have two lists.
Okay,
so
then
I cheated.
we're definitely coming back to you, man.
Yeah.
That's way too much Kieffer for my taste. Oh, yes, indeed. But you know what the people want, you know what the people demand. Look at the count. The count looks good today, and I know why it is. It's because they're just clicking through on their YouTube feed and they see Pete Pardo's face and they stop dead in their tracks and like, I don't want to hear Scott talk anymore. We hear enough of that big mouth. We want to hear Pete Pardo. We want to hear his list, his 10 favorite Sabbath songs. I'm really interested in this, Pete, because I know you're a big fan. You and I have talked about Sabbath before and your love for them. So this is going to be something special, boys and girls. This is why you come to the Prog Corner for great entertainment like this. Oh, man. I'm excited, Pete.
So it's my favorite band of all time, right?
Oh.
So
Me too.
picking like my 10 favorite songs was not easy. And I like my list, but it probably could change tomorrow. That's just how it is with this band because I'm always listening and loving other stuff more than others, depending on, what time of day it is and what week it is and all that kind of stuff. But my number 10 is going to be Disturbing the Priest off of Born Again. I absolutely adore Born Again.
Great album.
I don't even care that the mix kind of sucks. I've been living with this album for 40 plus years. If they remix it and re-release it, I'm going to buy it. I'm sure I'll love it, but I don't have an issue with the original mix. It's muddy, it's heavy, it's evil. I don't care. And Disturbing the Priest is Ian Gillan at his absolute shrieking best. So I had to pick one of the songs.
Isn't that the plan? Aren't they really re-releasing that with a new mix or something?
Yes. I mean, they haven't come out and said this is when we're doing it. Chris Allo and I have talked about this a lot in recent months. We think they're going to wait to announce it till after the July show in the UK.
That's right. July 5th, the last go round, right?
Didn't they just announce that Ozzy's going to be lip syncing at that?
No, I wouldn't be surprised though.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I swear I just heard something like Axl Rose is going to be singing and it's going to be Ozzy just sitting up there.
We'll see.
We'll see.
But my guess is we will know more about any future Sabbath releases after that. So they got to get that out of the way first. So that's my number 10. My number 9 is Into the Void from Master of Reality. My favorite Black Sabbath album of all time.
Me
and
too.
Into the Void absolutely crushes. In fact, I just listened to this at the gym an hour ago while I was lifting weights, and there is really not a better song to do that to. It's
right.
And the whole album is just so heavy and so like groundbreaking at the time, right? And so different from the two that came before it, I think.
Yeah.
So that's my number 9. My number 8, let me go back to my list. Let's go all the way back to the title track to the first album. It's got to be on here. There are times that I have not had this in my top 10, but this week I'm feeling it. So it's a groundbreaking track. It's so heavy, it's so doomy, and it just kind of starts off the entire catalog on the right path. And for 1970, no one was sounding like this, right? Not at all. From that weird opening beginning of the rain, and the thunder, and the church bell. It's just so evil. It's just great.
And the album cover just is perfect for that music.
I love how they cut back to that at the end of 13, the sound effects.
Yeah. Well, it's what they should have done, so right? Cool. Everything comes full circle, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up, what are we at? Number 7, title track to Mob Rules.
Yeah.
Mob Rules. I could have, I tried to put my foot in every camp here, with all the my favorite singers from the band. And I love Falling Off the Edge of the World too. And I love Sign of the Southern Cross and a lot of other tracks on here, but the title track has always been my favorite. It's quick, it's fast, it's furious. It's just classic Dio.
I love Mob Rules, man. I love that album. I love it. And I've always felt its predecessors stole all the headlights and I think it's every bit as good as Heaven and Hell.
I think that Heaven and Hell has more of my favorite songs, but I think that Mob Rules is stronger start to finish.
I think so.
There you go.
Actually, I talked to a lot of people who are like, Mob Rules is the best. And I think it's because it really excels at what I call, in album scoring, the general effect category in terms of the epicness. Oh, in the first 10 minutes of the album, here's Sign of the Southern Cross. Here's Falling Off the Edge of the World. Here's all these. And not to mention, it's really the only Sabbath album that has a great production job.
It's really good.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Really here we go. Come on. Heaven and Hell had a great production.
Yeah. They're two totally different, though. Funny enough, Martin Birch produced both of them. And
exactly. That's both Martin Birch. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Next up, I'm going to go with Supernaut from Volume 4. One of the greatest riffs in all of heavy metal history.
Yeah.
It's just so lumbering and lumberjackish. I just absolutely love Supernaut.
It's the riff that is so good that I swear to God, after you listen to that song, you have lost 20 IQ points. It just melts. It melts your brain. It's that cool. It's that awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. Absolutely love it. Next up, speaking about a great riff, Hole in the Sky from love it. One of the great kickoff songs in all of heavy metal history, and to me, the underrated gem on this album. Everybody talks about Symptom of the Universe, and I get it, that's great too, but I always thought Hole in the Sky was a better song.
What a way to start an album, right?
So good. Just so good.
And Terra do a decent cover of that as well.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. All right, let's go back to Master of Reality for number 4, Children of the Grave. Legendary, classic. Could even be higher on my list. I absolutely adore Children of the Grave. It's just so evil and dark. And can we please talk about Bill Ward for a second?
Yes. Yeah,
no problem.
Those shuffling, jazzy drums throughout the whole thing.
He's awesome.
So underrated. Yeah, so underrated and so important in this band. Just absolutely amazing track. Number 3, let's do the title track to Heaven and Hell. One of the great metal anthems of all time. And, I've had the pleasure of seeing them play this live many times. And it's other than Stargazer by Rainbow, I think that Heaven and Hell is one of Ronnie's greatest achievements from a vocal perspective. And it's just so great. And let's play it live and make it 20 minutes. I won't complain because you'll get a big, long Tony Iommi guitar solo. Why the hell not? Number 2, let's go back to Volume 4. What used to be my favorite Black Sabbath song of all time, but Snowblind from Volume 4 is amazing.
Yeah.
I like it. It's got lots of textures. Tony's kind of closing guitar cadenza is just amazing. It's a great vocal performance from Ozzy.
It's a great vocal performance for a guy as high as Ozzy was at that time. And he's singing about being high, and he just sounds so good. He's so believable. I wonder why it's such a believable performance. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, he was singing what he knew. And they tell you that's great art is usually based on that.
Yep, he was probably singing that with a big mound right next to him.
He was.
And the greatest Black Sabbath song of all time. And I think it's my favorite because it just never gets old. It comes from an album that I don't listen to all that much anymore because I played it to death back in the day. but I got to go with War Pigs as the greatest Black Sabbath song of all time. It's just so epic. It's got so many great parts. The riffs are great. The solos are great. And it never gets old. I mean, I could probably put on Paranoid and play that. Even though there's a lot of great stuff on here, it's a legendary album. It's the first album I ever bought from them. I could probably listen to War Pigs, take it off, and put on another album, and I'd be okay with that. I can listen to War Pigs any day of the week. Never get tired of it. I never need to hear Paranoid again. I got to be in the mood to hear Iron Man because I've heard it too much. But Electric Funeral, Hand of Doom, Fairies Wear Boots. I still love all that stuff, but War Pigs, the best. Absolutely
perfect.
Awesome.
Amazing. Yeah, we got quite a bit of overlap, Pete, and I would have guessed of my four fellow panelists here that you and I would probably overlap the most. But let's hold and see if that's true with our good friend from Alberta, the number one YouTuber in Alberta, according to me, Wayne. How you doing? Tell me a little bit about your relationship with Black Sabbath. Why do you like them? Do you hate them? Do you know them? Do you only tangentially know about them? What's the deal?
I, like most people, heard them on the radio a lot. Heard more about the mythological stories behind Black Sabbath than probably anything. But until like last year, when Tony released the Tony Martin box set.
Hey, Tony, that's right. That Tony Martin. So before we talk about Tony Martin, look who it is, boys and girls. It's Mark from Project Gemini. Welcome to the show, Mark. We love you. We love everything that you do. Project Gemini is such a great thing. All your records that I've heard. He sends me all this stuff on CD. It's awesome. One of these days, maybe he'll send me some vinyl, but Oh, wait a second. I wasn't supposed to say that. I was only supposed to think that. Man, I am so bad. It's whatever. I'm sorry, Wayne. I digress.
Yeah, so I went back and listened to their entire discography, and it is phenomenal. Like Tony Iommi, the ultimate riff master. Even hearing him telling things where he has like boxes of cassettes just full of nothing but riffs that he's never used, and I think that should be the next Black Sabbath box set. All of Tony Iommi's unused riffs.
That'd be fun.
But so getting into this, I was like, you know what? I'll just come up with like probably a few that I think right off the bat, and then just fill it in with other stuff. But I found that doing this, I've actually liked every era of Black Sabbath. Like it all had its own different, unique feel, whether it be Ozzy, whether it be Dio, whether it be Ian Gillan, Glenn Hughes, or even Tony Martin, who were talking about that Black Sabbath concert. Why the hell not bring out Tony Martin?
Yeah.
Can do Ozzy sings a couple songs, but bring out Tony. He can do the Dio stuff. He can do the Tony Martin era. But let's get into this. So for my number 10 is from Tyr, Odin's Court, Valhalla.
Yeah.
Really like that song.
Yeah, I like that one too.
More about that album later.
Next song on my list is from Seventh Star, the Sphinx, Seventh Star. Really love that. Always loved Glenn Hughes as a singer.
It's a great album, actually.
Really it is, man. But when that came out, we were confused. Like I said, I was in the record store, and that thing comes out, and it's like, is it a Tony solo album? Is it a Black Sabbath album? Who's singing on it? Is Ian still in the band? I was confused, and I think a lot of people were.
Yeah. So next on my list, number 8, from the Headless Cross, the title track, the Headless Cross. Oh. That is a fantastic opening song.
I almost went with Black Moon. It's a great song.
Awesome.
And people were wondering if the Dio era was going to get any love. Look, people, we're giving Tony love on this show. Come on now.
Both Tonys.
Yeah. Damn right. Next one for me, Let's see here. Number 7. Lonely is the Word.
Oh yeah, love that tune.
From
Jeez.
Heaven and Hell.
Yeah.
Love that track. Talking about Bill Ward's drumming. Like, just phenomenal. Number 6, Megalomania.
Yeah.
So that's for me.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Next one, Falling Off the Edge of the World.
Great song.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So number 4 for me, When Death Calls, with guitar solo featuring Brian May of Queen, which kind of felt like out of nowhere. As soon as I seen that, I'm like, wait a minute, Brian May. But yeah. Number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number
3,
4.
4.
Or number 4, Snowblind.
Yeah.
Just great song. Next one, Computer God.
Yeah.
Oh my. Okay.
Somebody in the peanut gallery will like that.
They want some Dio.
Yeah.
They didn't expect that one.
Probably not. But
love
it's one of those I really enjoy. Number 2 for me, I know a lot of other songs off this album get mentioned a lot, but to me, my favorite song off of Paranoid is Hand of Doom.
Mm.
There's just something so doomy, and just hearing Ozzy sing it and just the build in that song is phenomenal. But for me, my favorite Sabbath song of all time, and has been pretty much since the first time I heard it, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath.
Oh, awesome. Killer tune.
The riff in that to start that song, but as you go along, and just how much heavier that song builds throughout the whole thing. Just my favorite song by them. A couple honorable mentions: The Eternal Idol, The Shining, and from Breakout is another one that I really enjoy.
Nice.
I'll keep my mouth shut on that one.
I love it. Well done, Wayne. Nice,
Great.
well-rounded list, all over the place, covering a lot of bases there, not just focusing on the 70s like my list might. You know how that goes. Oh, wait a second. The 2 Dio albums are 80 and 81. So. Oh, the great Wayne, the #1 YouTuber in all of Alberta, pulls through the clutch, but I haven't looked at the Ontario ranking. Where do you think you might rank, Cody? In the top YouTubers in Ontario, you got to be in the top 10. So,
considering almost all of my viewers, which I'm almost at 1,300 subscribers, by the way.
Okay.
I look at the analytics, and most of them come from the U.S.
Okay.
But yeah, the Americans know what's up. That's right.
That's right.
So I'm
We're
gonna
#1. That's all right. It looks probably unlikely that Canada will be our 51st state, but we can still hold out hope that Alberta will just break away. And we can't get all of Canada. Maybe Alberta will be our 51st state. Wayne, we'll be countrymen sooner or later.
Well, that's the way it's looking right now. Yeah, probably.
Oh man!
People commenting Ontario. Yeah, it's the home of Rick Labonte, Martin Popoff. Both guys I've actually met at gigs all around here, and even had on my YouTube channel. Martin Popoff, he's awesome. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna start off with an album that is a favorite of mine, but I want to share a picture, and I don't know how to do that. What do I do? Just go into present slides?
Yeah, hit that, and then I think there will be something there that says image or something. And
if you got present, yeah, you should have done that a long time ago, man. Like before we went live, but that's fine.
Okay, well, I don't need to do that, I guess.
You can if you want. This is only live. It's no big deal. Play around,
Image file.
We only have 13,000 subscribers.
Anyway, so I will. I'll just explain the story that's in the picture, and I'll put it up on my Facebook for anyone who wants to see it. But when Black Sabbath did the Mob Rules album, which is one of my absolute favorites, I'm in Guelph. Whereabouts are your market? Oh, I'm in Caledonia, so about an hour from there. Anyways, so back in '81, my dad was in a Canadian band called Rabbit with a WRABIT, and they actually opened for Black Sabbath 30 nights across North America, in US and Canada, on the Mob Rules tour. And
I'm only making you big because I love Mob Rules, not because I love you.
Oh, thank you.
It's just because you're showing that Mob Rules album, and I just love it so much. So yeah, continue.
Well, it's a great album, and so this is the album they were promoting at the time, and so this was always his favorite Black Sabbath album, and so this is one of the first ones I ever heard, and I still love it to this day. So my number 10 is "The Sign of the Southern Cross" because I think it's just a fantastic tune. I love the really doomy, punchy thing about that whole song, and the way it just spreads out across 7 minutes. It's an epic tune. Black Sabbath, "Sign of the Southern Cross," and super fun to play when you down tune the acoustic guitar. Next up. So my list is about half and half. We do, some Dio stuff, some Ozzy stuff. I don't really dip too much into the post Ian Gillan stuff all that much, but yeah. Next one for me, "Symptom of the Universe." Absolute melter of a tune. Just literally, you listen to it and you can feel your face start to melt off. It's just awesome. And Ozzy just wailing, giving it. The lyrics are awesome, and just that heavy chunking guitar riff. Dun, 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 dun.
You know how many people have heard that song for the first time and said, "Wait a second, what year was that?" And then they realize, no, there ain't no way that was 1975. No way, no how. Talk about being 10 years ahead of your time.
I can just picture Bill drumming that in his red pants.
Yeah.
That would be
I can only imagine how limiting that was to hit the kick pedal. They were such tight pants. You got to drum in shorts. That's why we do it. Mark from Project Gemini. Cody's a cool guy and a very good. Oh, thanks, Mark. I appreciate that.
Sorry.
You're supposed to mute before sarcastically laughing at things, Kieffer. You're supposed to be polite.
I don't care.
I know.
And next up, from the very first album, it's not the title track. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. NIB. Primus cover is really cool of this too. They play it on Ozzy's Boneyard all the time. But I just love the whole basic lead bass solo going into this, and then the chunky that's funk. All right, that's funk going down. Oh yeah, yeah, just killer. Absolute awesome tune. Love it so much. And we're going to touch on an album that Pete mentioned at least twice in his list, but didn't pull out this song. But it's one of my absolute favorites. And this is, if anyone ever doubted that Black Sabbath is prog, the changes in this song will absolutely show you that they certainly had elements of that. And that is "Lord of This World." Yeah, I absolutely love the song. Just the way it starts off with that slow riff, and it just builds up into that sort of shuffly sort of groove in the verse. And Ozzy just giving it on the microphone. Man, he was really singing good at the time. A lot of people, especially in conversation about Ronnie James Dio, who's such a bona fide, amazing singer, that he obviously stands perfectly fine on his own 2 feet. But Ozzy was an excellent vocalist. I mean, even up till the 2000s and stuff, when you could barely understand a word he was saying when he spoke, he sings and he just sounds awesome. He always had a great voice and still does when he can sing. But yeah, his voice, particularly on these records, is just pretty phenomenal, actually, and really serves the sort of vibe and scary thing that they were going for at the time. But yeah, "Lord of This World," Master Reality. For a long time, this was my favorite Black Sabbath album, but I'm not sure now because I've fallen so much in love with this album that some days I think that this might be my favorite album. And of course, we're going for the title track, "Heaven and Hell." Just so iconic when he comes in with that "Sing Me a Song," and the guitars sort of fade away. It's just the bass and drums, and just a killer track. What can I say about this that hasn't been said already a million times? But ironically, there's actually 3 songs from this album that make my list because, let's face it, people, I could have picked every song on this. I love this record. The next up is Neon Nights. Neon Nights, absolutely fantastic tune. And I'm coming out with the covers here today. For some reason, there's a lot of cool Black Sabbath covers.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Anthrax does an awesome cover of this on the Ronnie James Dio tribute album. They do Neon Nights, and they do it as good as it would be one of their own songs. Very good. But yeah, Neon Nights, just an awesome song.
Yeah.
I love driving along in my truck, and that comes on, just cranking it up full volume. Just that fast-paced sort of thing. It's great for driving on the highway.
Yeah, a lot of us. That was our first taste of Ronnie James Dio fronting Black Sabbath, and I remember that was obviously the first song I heard, and
I shut it off.
I was like, "What? This is totally gonna work!" What a great.
I gotta be honest. I shut it off the first time. I'm
Really?
like, what is this?
It's not Ozzy.
Then I adapted.
Uh-oh. Next up is an album that massively gets slept on in their catalog, and I think that's because it didn't get a whole lot of promo when it would have come out, and it was kind of in the midst of all this who's our singer this week sort of deal, right? They were going through so many changes that it was hard for people to keep up. But a lot of people forget that in the 90s, Vinny Appice and Ronnie James Dio came back to Black Sabbath and put out Dehumanizer. And
Great
one
album.
of the all-time crushing songs is a tune called I. And it's just a wow. It's just an absolute banger. I can literally it feels like the walls are going to come crushing down when you crank this up. When he's singing lyrics like "I'll smash your face in," but with a smile. He sounds evil and nasty, and Ronnie sounds like God on this track. I gotta say, he really does, and that's what he was going for. And of course, for such a short little guy, right? But he had the voice that could literally shake mountains, right?
Who else has the voice who can literally shake
More on
mountains?
that song later.
Cody, Pete
Who's
Pardo. It's our good buddy Harry Whitley, lead singer of the mighty Asia. Oh, we love you, Harry. Oh, absolutely honored to have you here on the live stream today. We got to bring you back on the show when you've got some exciting Asia news to pronounce, because I know there's big things happening in Asia camp. You guys have taken over the world. I've heard those Japanese tour dates went down really well, and everything I've seen on YouTube, man, you guys are killing it. Absolutely killing it. But I guess if you look at that lineup, why wouldn't you be killing it? I mean, really, this is like people talk about Asia. Like, look at who's behind the drum kit these days. Are you kidding me? Really? Are you kidding me? And you got John Mitchell in the band. Come on, man. This version of Asia might do a little something. I'm telling you, I'm excited about a new Asia album. I haven't said those words since 1983. And it's true. So, Harry, welcome. Anyway, carry on, Cody.
Asia did that comeback record in 2006, that Phoenix, I think it was called. That was a pretty decent album. That was actually surprisingly quite good.
It was good.
So my number 4 pick is I. Ronnie just absolutely crushing it, really. And the riffs, obviously, just awesome. Next up, an all-time classic, and the first time I've busted up the Paranoid album, even though this was probably the first Black Sabbath album I heard, but I love this record. Obviously, here in Ontario, you tune into something like 97.7 or any of the hard rock stations that are around here where I am anyway. You can hear pretty much anything from this album at any given time. In particular, obviously, the title track and Iron Man. But War Pigs never seems to lose its thing. It's got that sort of jazzy, proggy, but still heavy bit in the middle and sort of close to the end. But it's also like an anthem now. It's also an anthem now. Everybody knows the song, and generals gathered in there. Everyone can sing that when it comes on because it's just a killer tune. And it's stood the test of time completely successfully. And now we're going to come back to the Heaven and Hell record for one final time because we got 2 songs left. And obviously, I think that these 2 are probably no-brainers, but I don't think anyone's mentioned this one. It's one of Ronnie's best songs ever, Children of the Sea. I just absolutely love this song with that sort of swooping, beautiful acoustic guitar thing going on in the beginning. Then in the misty morning, that just sets you up right there for how beautiful and wonderful this song is going to be. And it's such a great song. It's so fun to sing along to. Tony Iommi, it's just this lineup of the band gelling very well. And Children of the Sea, always one of my all-time favorite Sabbath songs. And the number one, not that this was ever really a ranking, but the number one kind of has to go to the song that the whole world would have heard for the first time when it came out. The song that kind of put Black Sabbath on the map, going back to 1970, What Is This? The title track from the first Black Sabbath album. I can only imagine the face of parents in 1970 when, their kids would have been coming home with this and putting it on the turntable going, what is that? And the double chords and stuff going on in this. Oh, but yeah, just absolute haunting tune. Oh no! And then you got that bit in the middle, which is really cool. It kind of takes a left turn. Yeah, you got it. But so just starting it off and letting the world know who Ozzy Osbourne is with some terrifying lyrics about a really scary dream that I think Geezer Butler had. Really cool.
Yeah,
thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
There you go.
Talking about Word Pigs, like it's one of the few songs that a few concerts I've been to have thrown it up just while they're setting up, and it's one of the few songs that the entire audience will just start singing.
I've had that actually. There's been a couple of gigs, and when I went to see Iron Maiden a couple of years ago, they put on Die Young over the PA, which is like, that's a really odd cut to choose, but I'll take it.
Nice.
Hey, yes,
nice.
I agree. Holy Diver definitely does rule.
Yeah, it does.
Is that like the greatest 1-2 punch ever? The opening of Holy Diver.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
Stand up.
I'd say his first two solo albums are probably the greatest 1-2 punch ever. The rest are fine.
It's hard to beat.
That song, Ice Speed at Night, is so awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Kieffer. Guess what? It's lightning round with Kieffer because I don't know if you've looked at the time, but we're going a little bit long. That's okay. It's not every day we get Pete Pardo in the house, but Kieffer, let's see what you got. Let's see how.
I'll try to keep it snappy, but it's kind of hard.
I know.
I am if you guys haven't figured out, I love Black Sabbath. I spent literally the whole month listening to Black Sabbath just to try to dig up stuff. And I figured out I can't pick 10. So I'm going to be a cheater. I have an Ozzy list, and I didn't just do a Dio list. I have a non-Ozzy list.
Okay. Well, let's go. Without further ado, Kieffer's going to give us his list.
Top 10 Ozzy songs. I believe my number 10 is our first instrumental of the day from Sabotage, Super Czar. What is cooler than Super Czar? Like that moment where he goes da 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 ba da da ba da 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 ba da da ba da da. It's so awesome. And it da 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 ba da ba. That song is so awesome. Number 9, my only pick from either of the first two albums, which is weird because I love them so much.
That is weird.
And to Doom. I love that song. Just absolutely epic. Number 8. So I have a buddy. Every day, I played him one time. He said it reminded him of Supernaut, and there would be times where I would see him and I would just go up to him and go and he would get so pissed because he's like, it's got stuck in my head all day long. And man, love that song.
Just turned into Beavis. Oh boy.
Number 7. Somebody in the chat was asking for this song to get some love. Here it is, "Killing Yourself to Live" off Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. That song is just so awesome. I love. One of you guitar nerds can tell me what it is. I'm not really a guitar player, but when that riff I mean that's just a classic, and then it goes upbeat, It's awesome. Also from Sabbath Place, I am shocked that we're on the prog corner and nobody has mentioned probably the proggiest Black Sabbath song ever. And I know that because Rick Wakeman's on it.
Yeah.
6, Sabracadabra from Sabbath Place Sabbath.
I haven't had my turn yet though, so
I love when it I love that moment. I always have to wait for the Wakeman moment because I'm a keyboard guy. I have to wait for the Wakeman moment, and it's like 2 minutes into the song. Somebody's criticizing me for my camera angle.
I know.
That better? That better?
There we go.
Yeah. That song's awesome. Just when Wakeman comes in with the synths and the piano in the background, love that song. Number 5, Snowblind. Yeah. I almost wasn't going to pick Snowblind, and I had it on this morning. This morning I was just cramming through trash just to see what could make the list or what couldn't make the list. And that song's just so awesome. It's so heavy. The way and when it goes fast in the middle. Why do all these Aussie songs go fast in the middle? That's just I don't know how that works. Yeah, great song. Not the last time I see it out. I got 2 from Sabotage up next. My number 4 is Symptom of the Universe. That song is just so crushingly heavy, and then at the end where it dies down and Tony starts playing the acoustic part, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Number 3, it used to be my favorite Sabbath song of all time. Number 3, Megalomania off Sabotage.
Yeah.
So epic, so cool in the in the dark.
Yeah, that's about it, Pete. Continue.
Yeah, Pete's nice. He doesn't interrupt me. I interrupt everything. I talk a lot. Yeah, Megalomania is awesome. So cool. If you've never heard Megalomania in the dark, well worth doing. It's awesome. Number 2, Under the Sun. Because, yeah, it just is. So awesome. And number 1, I didn't want to go with an obvious pick, but I mean, how could you not? Children of the Grave.
Yep.
I mean, what more can I say about that song?
Banger.
But
nice.
I'm a fan. And I didn't realize that a lot of the other eras, I didn't know if they would get that much love until Wayne made his list. So I have 10 more tracks that aren't Ozzy. We'll start off from that list from the tier record. I had a choice between a couple. I picked the opener, Anno Mundi.
I like that song.
I had that on. I was going through that record probably Monday or Tuesday, and it was raining here in Ohio. I was just standing on the porch. I'm like, this is just so awesome. And just an absolutely great song. Number 9, 8 and 9, I'm going for 2 tracks off Seventh Star. Number 9, and if Logan is in the chat, he'll be happy to hear this, Danger Zone. I love that song. Great riff. I mean, great vocals. What more could you need? Number 8, I've been posting about this song on the internet all week because it's so good. It's Glenn Hughes sings for like 2 minutes, and then Tony solos the rest of the time. Heart Like a Wheel.
Yeah.
That song's amazing. Just the vocals are great, but then Tony just goes to town. If you haven't heard it, you need to, as Pete would say. Number 7, I said more about this one later from Dehumanizer.
Yeah.
That moment when after the break in where Dio comes in and sing. I'm not going to sing Dio's lines because I can't do that. When he comes in and says, "I am virgin, I'm a whore," and the way he just screams it is just so awesome.
Oh, I know. My God.
Such an amazing singer.
The best.
Sabbath had 3 out of the 4 of the Mount Rushmore of heavy rock vocalists ever.
Yeah,
that's true. I didn't think of that.
They did.
That's true.
Well, wait until I tell you what that is. Number 6, the title track to Mob Rules. Just I almost went with Country Girl, and I probably should have now that Mob Rules got a lot of press. But, man, that song is so good. Had it on this morning. Absolutely crushed. Number 5. What did I go with for number 5? Zero the Hero off Born Again.
I wouldn't have gotten that from that.
I mean,
That didn't sound like it at all.
yeah.
Some of his other ones have been pretty good. That one.
Yeah, does my voice sound as bad as the Born Again mix?
Oh, stop it.
But no, that riff, you hear that riff and you never forget it. And that's what I love about this band. You'd hear these riffs and you never forget it. And that's what Black Sabbath is. If you don't have a good riff, it's not a good Black Sabbath song, pretty much.
Fair enough.
Number 4, I'm going to step on Cody's picks a little bit. Die Young off Heaven and Hell.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. I mean,
you can't look at that record and say anything on it has even a bad second of music. I mean,
Nope.
Every song on Walk Away is great. Lonely is the Word. I'm glad Wayne picked that. And obviously, yeah, great stuff.
Yeah, sometimes I skip Wishing Well, but I mean, the rest of it's just fabulous. That's a good song, too.
Sorry.
Number 3, here's one that hasn't been called yet, and it's my favorite song of this record, and I think it's amazing. The title track to Born Again. Just absolute. Yeah. Ian Gillan, I haven't said the Mount Rushmore vocalists is Gillan, Dio, Coverdale, Hughes for this style of heavy rock. I did steal that from Pete because those were Pete's top.
I know you did. That's okay.
Yeah, that sounds like Pete's Mount Rushmore.
Absolutely, just an amazing vocal. My second favorite song with Gillan on it ever after Child.
That's like his sequel to Child in Time, kind of.
Yeah.
So amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Number 2, the title track to Heaven and Hell.
Yeah.
I mean, an amazing vocal performance.
Indeed.
The way it fades out into the acoustic part and then it goes in and then the side ends is just fabulous. My number 1, which I am well prepared to defend as my favorite song of all time.
What's it going to be? What's going to be? What's going to be?
Of all time. The Sign of the Southern Cross.
Good boy.
Yes, absolutely perfect. When
Good
that
boy.
song goes on, it doesn't go. Everything stops for 7 minutes and 16 seconds, or however long it is. Yeah. Absolutely perfect. Like I said, Mob Rules gets all the good press for the general effect, the epicness, just the great production, the songs like that, and the last 2 songs. Just that's why that album gets all the good press. And
how did Dio never end up in purple?
My one like that is how did Coverdale never end up in Sabbath?
Yeah,
it was discussed. It was discussed.
Made sense
to be before they got the guy from Fleetwood Mac for a couple of shows.
Yeah,
even when you think about Dio with the band Elf, going back to 1971, 72, that was their albums were produced by Roger Glover and Ian Pace.
I almost put the Elf album cover as a bad album cover, but I realized that would be cheating. That's a horrible cut with Ronnie with the elf ears. That's a horrible cut.
Yeah, it's good music though. It's kind of more like Bad Company than it is like Deep Purple, but it's still decent.
Yeah, unbelievable. We love Ronnie James Dio.
I have to be in the mood for it.
But you guys have been great. Your list's been fine, and I'm looking at my list and everybody said at least one, one of y'all said every single one on the list except my number 10. So now I'm feeling like my number 10 is terrible and I should change it. I'm going with Dirty Women off of Technical Ecstasy. No one has said it. I love it. I love that song. And yeah, it looks like Never Say Die is going to get snubbed all the way across. I am doing one per album. Doing one per album, boys and girls. And guess what? Yeah. There's not going to be one off of that album. At number 9, Disturbing the Priest. I love Born Again. I think it's a fun album. I think Ian made perfect sense at the time. It was like, what are you going to do? How do you replace Ronnie James Dio? There's only one guy who could possibly maybe even take a stab at making it work. It was Ian Gillan, and I think it worked. I don't know, Pete, you were at the show. You saw it worked, right?
It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
It was a match made.
His hair was, he just sat there and screamed up a storm, and it was great.
So awesome. It was so awesome. What a great show. Should have lasted. I wish they would have done a bunch more.
Like just the other day, he said it was one of the greatest year-long parties of his life.
Yeah,
I heard a story about a show where Gillan showed up on stage with a bunch of with some bongos and then started throwing up on stage.
Oh, sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
If you're not vomiting, nobody's really partying, and come on. After all, look at what year the first album came out, and that's what we're looking at in the number 8 spot. It's the self-titled album, and whenever you have like a band that has their first album, which is the same name, and then you got to have a song Iron Maiden by Iron Maiden off the album Iron Maiden. It's just awesome. You can't fail. So Black Sabbath off the album Black Sabbath, absolutely, by the band Black Sabbath at number 7. Another title track. Everyone had it on their list, I think. Wayne, did you have Heaven and Hell on your list?
No.
Okay, everybody else did. You're dead wrong, Wayne. Obviously should have been there. Just amazing. Number 6. Basically, so many great choices for this album. I'm into Sabotage here, and I'm going with Symptom of the Universe. It's like, is that not like the first thrash metal song? I mean, I never heard anything like that when that record came out. And, it takes a lot for me to be like, I haven't heard that before. And that was my reaction to that record. Because as much as I love, Volume 4 and Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, we'd heard it before. There was just cool records, but we'd heard it before. You hadn't heard that before, so I got that at number 6. At number 5, The Sign of the Southern Cross. Man, Mob Rules is so good. You can almost flip a coin between Heaven and Hell and Mob Rules. They're both 10 out of 10 records. I don't care what anybody says. Amazing. Number 4, if you got Rick Wakeman at Morgan Studios right next door, and all the boys in Yes are smoking weed, and Rick Wakeman just wants to have a pint and play darts. Well, you're going to get him on your album. Yeah, we got Sabracadabra at number 4. At number 3, Pete knows what time it is. It was Into the Void he had on his list, and Into the Void it must be from Master of Reality. At number 2, man, I'm doing the 1 per album rule, which makes it really tough. How do you only pick one song off Volume 4?
Yeah.
I mean, what do I do here? It's terrible. I don't know. I love this album so much. Even Changes got some consideration. I love Volume 4 so much. I do. But the correct answer is Supernaut. It has to be Supernaut. It just is. It just is. What's the riff again, Kieffer? That's the one.
My buddy's watching this on playback. He's gonna hate me.
And in case we didn't telegraph the number 1 often enough, Pete had it absolutely dead right. It is absolutely War Pigs, and it's relevant. It's still relevant today. It'll always be relevant. It's one of those great moments, right? That was the first song I ever heard, right? I was visiting relatives in Missouri. It's 1971, maybe 72, and they got Paranoid. And the album cover's terrible, but they're like, no, you got to hear this. And they put War Pigs on, and it blew my little kid mind all open. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I'd never heard anything like Black Sabbath, one of the greatest bands of all time. Absolutely. I love them so much. In fact, last week was Clickbait Week, and I did the 10 greatest bands of all time. And wouldn't you know it, Black Sabbath made that list because they are one of the 10 greatest bands of all time. They have to be on that list. Next week on the show, what are we doing? Oh, we got some exciting stuff going on next week, man. Pete, have you heard this band called Lux Terminus?
I have the CD here. I haven't listened to it yet. I'm sure it's good. Yeah.
Cool cover.
Oh my, boys and girls. If you like prog metal that's kind of like djenty with blast beats and stuff, there's not a single guitar on here.
Oh, all right.
There's not a single guitar on here. Not one note is being produced by a guitar. It's all this cat. His name is Vikram Shankar. And it's him playing keyboards and then a bass player and a drummer. Ross Jennings makes a guest vocal on one track. The rest of it's all instrumental. I've never heard anything like this. And whenever, it takes a lot for me to be like surprised and be like, what am I actually listening to? Lux Terminus, one of those bands. Want to give a shout out to Noble Records. Dylan at Noble Records. Thank you so much. Reissuing Yezda Urfa. Did you see this, Pete Pardo?
I heard about it, and I have not actually seen it. That's such a great album.
Woo, I had to have it on vinyl. So exciting. And finally, being that it was clickbait week last week, I wasn't able to do any reviews at all. And I know you boys and girls were sad. Scott didn't review anything. Fear not. Next week, I'm going to be reviewing this charmer. Have you gotten your hands on this yet, Pete? Oh, my goodness.
It's here.
Yeah. Wow. Dreams do come true, boys and girls. Your boy has been dreaming of a sidelong epic from Yorzio. Oh, and not only do you get it, it's Breda Blick on the other side, and they're both doing a sidelong epic called Contraster. Absolutely amazing. So we're gonna have a lot of fun on the channel next week. Talking about that and just recovering from clickbait week. But thank you so much, Pete Pardo, for joining us today as we talked about Black Sabbath. Pete Pardo, everybody. Woo! Now, next Sunday on the show, I'm really excited. I mean, I was just pushing that Yorzio thing. It's a pollen week, I guess. I don't know, because I'm going to have Anders Bowes on next week.
Cover.
Yeah, Anders Bowes. He's an Apollon artist. He's releasing a brand new album called, I wrote it down, but I can't pronounce it. It's Norwegian. All you clowns need to know is this guy played in Paul Di'Anno's band and Tim Ripper Owens' band. Who can say that? Right?
He's making
Who can say that? He's got a brand new record coming out, and his name is Anders Bowes. Anders Bowes. Anders Bowes. Let's see if I can put his name up here. Yeah. Cool. Anders Bowes. He's awesome.
Making a prog rock album?
Yes, indeed. He is kind of Norway's Mike Oldfield.
Okay.
Kind of, sort of. But I'm excited. Zach knows what time it is. He loves Anders Bowes. New CDs coming out on Apollon. So we got him coming on next week. And then, I don't know, the week after that, what do we want to do? I think we might want to see what Pete Pardo's got going on either June 8th or June 15th, because I'd sure like to do the same thing with Deep Purple.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Yeah, the problem, I would do it, but I haven't heard everything. So I have like 2 weeks to hear, like, how many albums are they up to now?
A lot.
It's a lot, man. It's a whole bunch, but
coming. So,
but that's okay. You don't have to know every single little nook and cranny of a band's discography. You just don't. Okay, it's pronounced Buas.
Deep Purple have
Anders Bow, not Anders Bowes. It's Buas. Yeah, I'm not Norwegian, boys and girls, so I'm not going to get that right. I'll never get that right. Either way, he's going to be on the show next Sunday. We're going to be talking about what in the world is a guy from Norway playing with Paul Di'Anno and Ripper Owens. That doesn't even make sense. How did that happen? But I love his music. He was kind enough to send me a couple of his records about a year ago. I was like, dude, I love your YouTube channel. I think you might like my music. And you know what? The reality is if you send me a file, it's probably going to get lost.
Me too.
How many MP3 file albums do you get sent every week, Pete?
You don't want to know.
Yeah. I can't even imagine.
Scott, if you saw my inbox right now, you would cringe. It's ridiculous.
I've been doing this 3.5 years, and I get at least 200 a week. So I can only imagine what you're getting. So I'm sorry, if you want to get my attention, send me some physical product. The CD is fantastic. I really appreciate it. If you got vinyl, you got my full and undivided attention. So that's what Anders did. He sent me not one, but 2 pieces of vinyl. He doesn't live down the road. Dude lives in Norway, right? Okay. So obviously he cares enough about the Prog Corner to spend some money, some of his hard-earned money, to put physical product in my hand. I am definitely going to return that favor because that's the way this world works, right? If you're too lazy, if you don't believe in, it's like betting on yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, you want me to believe in you? You got to be joking, bro. It don't work like that. In other words, translation, Scott likes free stuff.
Yeah, please, people. I had somebody message me recently about his new band, and I was going to try to put it on Scott's show, and then he wanted Scott and I to pay for the downloads. I'm like, there is no way, dude.
That's fun.
No, I'm not going to do this guy the honor of saying his name on the air, but
no, we won't do that.
Please don't.
But you know what we are going to do, boys and girls? It's Sunday. It's the Sunday Prog stream. Sunday service has been in full effect. And you know what we need to do, boys and girls? We need to put our hands together and pray to the gods of Prague that Billy Bob doesn't bust out the snakes on us. No, he's going to do it anyway. Oh, Billy Bob got the snakes. Oh, look out. Oh, they look really, really hungry. Oh, these are the little guys. Where's the big one? Oh, no, it's a big guy. Oh, jeez. I will see you guys tomorrow when we do God knows what, but next Sunday, Anders, okay, can I pronounce it? Anders Boas. Anders Buas will be on the show. Anyway, boys and girls, I love you. I'll see you then. Peace. Oh, that was a good one. That was